guys, how's it going? Thad Shoemaker Guitar Works. So today I am working on this cool P-Bass that customer sent or brought in, and um, he wants me to do some wiring stuff to it. And one of the reasons why I'm doing some wiring to it is because brand new Seymour Duncan pickup and the lead came off. So I'm going to have to resolder the lead back onto the pickup, and I don't really care for doing this, but it's part of the job. So let me get the P-Bass out of the way. I'm going to hang it up back here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And so I got the solder iron all heated up here. Got my sponge to clean it off. Got some solder here. Tin my tip. Move that out of the dang way. I'm going to tin my wire. Okay, my wire's tinned. Put that down for a sec. Now, I'm going to take my handy helping hand here and trying to make it so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Might have to lower this down just a little bit. I want to get that right on the old solder joint because I want to do this fast and don't want to take the risk of burning the lead off of the pickup. Always make sure your tip's clean. Tin it. Hit it. Some people say don't blow on them. I always blow on them. So we should have that there. And then this one come off here, so I've got to do the same thing over here, but I've got to cut back the wire a little bit. Which sometimes can be easier said than done. So now I do the dangerous thing here, and since I can't find my hobby knife, which is right here in front of me every time, you know, that's how it is. But I'm going to cut that insulation back. And again, I'm going to tin it. I love Seymour Duncan pickups, and I can't believe this happened, but it did. Brand new out of the box. A little bit of tin on there. Same thing. Get that on there. Where did I set my solder? Of course, right in front of my face. You ever have one of those days where you look for something and it's right there? That's my days every day. All right, so a little tin on the end. Get this right up on there. Little heat and a little solder. All right, connected. Good. So the next thing I want to do is, while the soldering iron's hot, he actually had this set up for a 3-pot system with 2 volumes and a tone. I think it came out of a jazz bass. So he told me that just to use this, which is fine, and I will do that. But I want to clean it up first and get the old solder out of there. So again, I'm gonna clean my tip. I'm gonna tin it a little bit so it's got something to meld against. This is a solder sucker. They're cheap on Amazon and eBay, and you need one if you're gonna be doing any kind of guitar electronics work. This sucks the old solder out and then pops it out the end. You got to do this quick because you don't want the thing to heat the pot up too much. So now I've got a good spot there for ground. Heat up the lug here. Get as much of that out of there as I can. See, there's a big chunk of solder right there. Let me get that off of there. All that solder. Now it will be even more powerful when it sucks the solder off of there. So I'll heat it up again. Got that heated up, got that out of there. There's a little piece of solder. Same thing there. Now I should theoretically drop my solder on the ground, but I should be able to, that one's still got a little bit on there, so I'm gonna do it one more time. Clean off my tip. Heat that up. Got it. All right, so now I've got a good clean pot to solder to, and I will bring you back at that point. Just wanted to show you something that I do for just about every customer that I do a wiring job for, and that is make a wiring diagram. Some are simple like this one, some are complicated, but I like to do them in colors. That way people can see what wires go to what. Of course, you can't do a white lead, so I have to use red for white lead. But anyway, just wanted to show you that as part of the job. All right, so I've got this set up here and mocked up and ready to solder. This is one of the pure tone jacks, and it has 2 leads for the ground and 2 leads for the hot, and the plug fits really tightly in these things, and they're awesome. I've put them on a couple guitars now, and I absolutely love them. I've got my wiring set up how I want it, except for the ground wire here, which I will have to connect the last thing. Got my little piece of solder here, and got my soldering iron, good old Weller. I'll clean off my tip, tin it, heat that up. I'm going to start here on the jack. Good connection. Move over here to this side. Do the same thing. Come over here to the pot. Solder that hot lead on. Clean off the tip again. Tip's about worn out. It's starting to get a little, if you can see that little indent in it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's about time to replace. Heat that up a little bit. I'll put a little more on here because I wasn't happy with that. There we go. So the last one I have to connect are these two ground wires, and this is where I'm going to need my helping hand again. So I'll bring this guy over here, whack the camera with it. That's because that's what I do, you know. Got that lead positioned where I want it. That lead positioned where I want it. Both on my pile of solder there. So, again, I'm gonna clean off my tip, tin it, and this should go really quick here. Just got to get it hot enough to melt that solder that's underneath. Sometimes it doesn't always go as planned. There we go. So I have one more lead to solder, and that is the bridge ground, and I will do that when I put the pickups in and the pick guard into the guitar. So I will bring you back at that point. All right, so I don't know if you noticed my screw up or not, but I did not run the pickup wires through the body, so I had to disconnect those. I already resoldered them. The last one I have to solder here, like I said, was the bridge ground. I went ahead and changed my tip because I wanted as clean a soldering job as possible. And there we go. Everything is soldered, nice and tight, not gonna come off. And now I can put the pick guard on. Hey guys, Dad Shoemaker, Shoemaker Guitar Works, back again with the P-Bass, and now it's time to put strings on it. But before I do that, I wanna put a little oil on this fretboard because it's pretty dry. So I'm gonna take my oil, shake her up a little bit. It's that time of year when things dry out, especially rosewood, ebony, even the maple fretboards that are unfinished tend to get a little fret sprout on them and dry out some during this time of year. Now you're running your furnace and there's no humidity in the air in your houses, and it just tends to dry things out. Rub that in there real good. Flip the rag around. Get a clean spot. Now this rag I use specifically only for fretboard oil. that on there. I pulled the plastic off the pick guard cover, or the plastic covers that come on them. Wipe all that off. And I didn't notice until a little bit ago, but this was a PJ base, and he filled the J base pickup. You can just barely see it, but did a good job. Paint is excellent on this thing. So we're gonna put some Ernie Ball base Super Slinkies on it. Great choice. Everybody kind of has their own way of doing base strings, and I'm just going to show you how I do mine. So, with these type of tuners, you have to insert part of the string into the hole. So I always go just past the next tuner, cut it off, stick that down in the hole. Sometimes it's easier than others. Turn it. And I'm not a finger bass player. So I've got a little adjusting to do to the truss rod. I'm gonna check the intonation. I'm going to lower the action down some, and I might have to even shim the neck yet. I'm not sure, but I'm not gonna go with that. But we'll call this the final part of the episode. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like and subscribe, and I hope you like it.